name is Joe Jordan. I'm your host today. Today we're going to dig into the game ones of the NBA playoffs, first round. And excuse the audio, excuse the video. I'm actually traveling right now, and we are a day behind. So I'm supposed to be home right now, but instead going home tomorrow. So I don't have my equipment with me, so bear with me. And game ones was so good, I could not go a day without showing the video, talking about it. All right. So just bear with me with the audio. You might hear my kids in the background. Hey, we're gonna make it work. So look. The first game I want to briefly talk about Jazz versus Mavericks. Now the Jazz versus Mavericks series so far is tricky because I picked the Mavericks winning 7 only because Luka is out was out for game 1 and he was doubtful for game 2. So I kind of anticipated he would miss both of those games and they would drop both of those games. They had an opportunity to steal the first game, but the thing is, their defense looked awesome, like it has been since the All-Star break. But they had no offense outside of Luka. So they just show you how much more valuable Luka is. Luka and these Mavericks reminds me of the Cleveland Cavaliers teams with LeBron James. You know, when the offense revolves all around all around LeBron, and LeBron would have missed a game, Cleveland was not going to survive, just like the Mavericks didn't survive. And the reason why Utah won is because they have their star, Donovan Mitchell. He had a run in the third quarter that actually gave them some cushion. So that's my 2 cents on that. I still think Luka will come back game 3 and still bring this team back to victory. Utah is a team that folds. 2 years ago, they dropped a 3-1 lead in the first round. And then last year, they dropped a 2-0 lead in the second round. All right? Lost 4 games straight. All right, so now next game, Timberwolves versus the Grizzlies. That game was so entertaining. Now, I picked the Grizzlies to win in 5, but I did say it would be 5 close games. Maybe 1 blowout, but 5 close games. And when we finish the series, even though the Timberwolves would lose 4-1, we would look at the Timberwolves like, we got to look out for this team next year. All right? And they came out the gate. Anthony Edwards was very aggressive from the start of the game. You know, Cat had a good game also. You know, but the thing is, John Morant had a good start, but they did a good job on John Morant in the second half because John Morant, he doesn't have the jump shot. He doesn't have pull-up game. Everything is a set jump shot or he's going to the basket. And he was taking a beating also in that game. So he has to develop a jump shot if he want to last long in the NBA at a high level. And people are going to put that wall up for him like they did in the second half, and that was a problem for them. And the Timberwolves got more skilled players than the Grizzlies. No, the Grizzlies got a better team as a whole, but the Timberwolves got 3 players that can give you 30 any second. You know, so Timberwolves looking good. They took home game 1, won by 13. The Sixers versus the Raptors. Now, I'm not going to say too much about this. I had this series being 4-0. I had the 76ers winning 4-0, sweeping the Toronto Raptors. A lot of people say the Raptors would cause some problems. Listen, this reminds me of, like I said before in my last episode, this reminds me of when the Brooklyn Nets that had Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett swept the LeBron and D-Wade Miami Heat in the regular season, but they met in the playoffs and they got swept. I see this as the same situation, and so far they're on the right track. Maxey went off, had a great game. We can't expect that from Maxey from every game, but that's the advantage you have when you're at home. When you're at home, you have players do things outside of your stars that do things out of the norm. All right, so 76ers will sweep them. The Raptors don't have enough talent for the 76ers. The Nuggets versus the Warriors. Listen, I had this game also being 4-1. I had the Warriors winning 4-1. I think the Warriors are much better than the Nuggets. The Nuggets don't have their full squad. That's not fair. They don't have Michael Porter Jr. or Jamal Murray. It's basically Jokic and a lot of role players. And but the Warriors, man, I have to come out the West. I think they're gonna get things together as the playoffs go through. I think next series when they play Memphis, I think that's going to be the series when Steph Curry comes out. But this series, I think they're going to breeze through it. They might sweep them, but I'm going to say 4-1. All right? So then we have the Hawks versus the Heat. Now, this is another series that's tricky. So now people look at this game 1, it was a blowout. It was a blowout. Trae Young didn't have his best game. He had a cold start of the game. The first half, the Atlanta Hawks are very cold, all right? And Miami Heat were not. Miami was shooting well while playing scrappy, great defense. But don't get fooled by game 1, y'all. I won't be surprised if Atlanta Hawks come back game 2 and still game 2 and tie the series 1-1 going back to Atlanta. I have this game going 7 games. You know, I have Atlanta losing. I have Miami Heat advancing. But listen, y'all, won't be surprised if Atlanta takes the series. Trae Young is that guy. Trae Young is that guy, y'all, so we'll see. Then we have the Nets versus the Celtics. This was the most intense game of the playoffs so far. All right? This was the worst game I've seen KD play ever. I never seen KD play worse than I saw against the Celtics. And it was because he was just off. He was bothered. The Celtics did an awesome job on defense with KD. All right? They bothered him. He ended up turning the ball over a lot over some, just being reckless because, I don't know, they was pressuring this dude. And Kyrie had a great game, but think about this. Kevin Durant had probably his worst game. This is not a home game, this is a away game. He probably had his worst game in his career, and they lost by 1. All right, so I picked the Nets to win this in 6. I think it still will happen. The Nets are just a better team. They're just a better team, Celtics played a great game, and they lost by 1 point. And they won by 1 point over a buzzer beater. All right, so I still got the Nets in 6. The Bucks and the Bulls. A lot of people think this will be a sweep. I picked the Bucks in 6. All right, I had the Bucks losing 2 games to the Bulls, and the Bulls are hanging around, man. The Bucks were asking the Bulls to win this game for them, but the Bulls choked. I'm sorry, they choked. I mean, DeRozan was bricking at the brick, at the brick, at the brick, at the brick, at the brick. Then I'm like, I tweeted, I said, can Levine get some touches? Then Levine, brick. Couldn't close. And then finally, the Bucks made some shots. Holiday hit a 3, I think Middleton scored. They finally closed the deal. But the Bucks were begging to the Bulls to win that game. And down the stretch, they were not hitting the shots that needed to separate themselves and get the lead. They would not. Once they tied the ball game up, they would not hit. They could not score to get a cushion in their lead. So they choked. All right? And then lastly, the Pelicans and the Suns. This is a mismatch, I believe. I think the Pelicans don't have the defense to keep up with the Suns. All right? Now, the Suns is a great offensive and defensive team, but I don't think the Pelicans defense is going to hold up against them. They played good until the fourth quarter. Chris Paul went off, had a great fourth quarter. And that's the thing, man. I mean, the Pelicans, they don't have Zion. They're down their best player. Now, the Pelicans is a team that needed to get in the playoffs, right? To get that experience, to get that, and then this sweep they're about to receive. Cause I got the Suns sweeping them. It's gonna be good for them because Zion's gonna come back next year, and they should be an automatic playoff bid. The West is gonna be crazy next year. I'm looking forward to it. So, once again, guys, sorry for the audio, sorry for the video. I apologize, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode still, and I'll see y'all at the next episode.